Yo, yo, yo. As my man Imam Thug would say, check it, yo, yo, yo. This your man King Eric, the media assassin. And I'm about to come at y'all with some wrestling content here, man. Because you know we follow wrestling as well. We talk about that. And I want to talk about the day the Four Horsemen originally died. And I ain't talking about 88. I'm talking about 97. Fall Brawl 1997. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. See, what's been going on, the NWO came in 1996. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, they recruited Hulk Hogan. They were running rough shot through everybody. Ratings were through the roof. NWO was dominating. Randy Savage got his ass beat so bad, he ended up joining the NWO. So, there was a bunch of hot feuds going on. WCW versus the NWO. Mainly the Horsemen feuding with Kevin Nash's Wolfpack clique, which consisted of Buff Bagwell, Conan, X-Pac, who was considered 6 at the time, and Kevin Nash. So they was going to square off on the road game because throughout that whole summer, Flair and Piper and the Horsemen, they were feuding with the NWO. And then it got real serious when Arn Anderson announced his retirement because he had issues with his spine and he could no longer go in the ring. And it was a very heartwarming but sad moment because, man, Double A, the Enforcer, he put in so much work. I mean, work. He was one of the best workers in the game, man. It was sad to see him go. So, what they did, they needed a replacement at the time. Because, see, Flair still had some years in him. Benoit was a machine. Mongo, he couldn't really work, but he had the charisma. He had the attitude of a horseman. So, they needed another guy. And they wanted to recruit Curt Hennig, a.k.a. Mr. Perfect, to be the enforcer to go against Nash, Conan, Six, and Bagwell at Fall Brawl. And he was basically passing the torch to Curt Hennig. And let's be real, Curt Hennig wasn't doing nothing. So I was thinking, this is going to be perfect right here. Now the Horsemen could finally have some strength because they were getting their ass beat through the whole summer. So the promotion going into the event was pretty good. It's in Winston-Salem, a.k.a. Flair Country. We starting to think, yeah, the Horsemen about to whoop some ass now. We about to get that old energy back. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't Hogan, Hall, and Nash. It's Bagwell. It's Six. The Horsemen can handle these niggas, man. So it started off a little bit strange. They were saying that Curt Hennig got bum rushed. He got attacked by the NWO, so therefore it was 3 guys. It was 3-on-4 advantage. And now we looking at it from an experience standpoint. The Horsemen in Flair Country. The Horsemen in the War Games. They put in work in the War Game. Flair is the veteran. All the tools in the advantage, and they got Curt Hennig. All the tools in the advantage could go to them. And plus, it gave Curt Hennig something to do because Curt Hennig was talented. But he was lost in the shuffle. So, them putting him down with the Horsemen was a dope move. He was a perfect fit to me. So, the match goes on. And it's 3-on-4. And it's a hitting back and forth. Curt Hennig comes out with a cast. And we're thinking, he ain't really hurt. He's playing the fool for the Horsemen so they can get the advantage and they gonna kick some ass. You know what I'm saying? The Horsemen gonna get one. So he comes in the ring with the handcuffs. And we thinking, oh, there's some Horseman shit. Oh yeah, okay, we getting down. Instead, he goes and hit McMichael. He gives handcuffs to Nash. He gives handcuffs to Conan. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Y'all literally killed the Horseman right there. So Hennig turns on the Horseman. He rips the shirt. That was symbolic to me. He rips the shirt, the Four Horsemen shirt in Flair country. And they beating the dog shit out of Flair. So I was like, are you serious right now? This thing killed the Horsemen for good right here. So they handcuffed Benoit, they handcuffed McMichael, they beating the dog shit out of Flair. And Hennig was about to give Flair a guillotine if they didn't submit. One of the boys submitted, and Hennig goes and does it anyway. And then that takes Flair completely out. He basically decapitates Flair. My thing is this. It ain't doing nothing for Hennig though. And I'm thinking the reason why they did it is because Flair and Bischoff were at odds at the time. Bischoff saw the Horsemen as washed. Flair felt that they had some legs left and they had some draw power, which they did. Why you think they call it Flair country? So this ends up killing the Horsemen altogether, man, to me. The shirt, ripping the shirt was symbolic right there. And then the next night, Hennig comes out in Flair's robe. And then Hogan wears the robe with the sleeves ripped off. I'm like, yo, y'all really burying these guys now. You know what I'm saying? It was already bad enough when they mocked Arn Anderson's promo. Even that's one of the funniest promos I ever heard. They mocked the spot speech. They didn't get no get back. That made the Horsemen look like fools. That was Bischoff, man. Bischoff wanted to humiliate them and bury them dudes because he probably saw the NWO as the new big faction in town. He wanted to get Flair and them out of there. So after that, you probably see Flair and Hennig. They had matches, but it was no Horsemen involved. And Flair was gone for like almost a year after that. And they finally bring him back, but the energy ain't the same, man. Even though they had the Four Horsemen ceremony where Flair came back after being gone a year, he was calling out Bischoff, talking shit. The momentum wasn't the same afterwards, man. Like Dean Malenko, he didn't really fit as a Horseman to me. He was too small, and he didn't really have the personality as a Horseman. People might say, well, what about Benoit? Benoit had intensity. Malenko didn't really have a personality. Even though his ring music was dope, he didn't really have a personality to talk like a Horseman. Mongo had more of a personality, but he couldn't work. But it wasn't the same afterwards. It lost momentum. It was basically a Flair Bischoff feud, and then they went ahead and feuded with the NWO, Red and Black Elite, or whatever that's called. But after that, it was pretty much a dub, man. It really was. But they did Curt Hennig disservice because they made Curt Hennig as a lackey. Like, they didn't really do anything with him actually. He had a little more left in the tank to do. He did some feuds with Bret Hart and everything, but they didn't really do anything for him. They were basically seen as NWO lackeys, and then they kicked him out of the group and made him look like a whole chump. Then he came out there with the rap his crap gimmick. Like, his tenure in WCW was a disaster, man, and he deserved more than that. So, rest in peace, Curt Hennig, man. He was one of the best to do it as Mr. Perfect. This is King Eric signing out. Let me know what you guys think. Holla.